my cafe, my Pet Info Cafe. Pour yourself a warm cup of coffee or tea and let's chat about our love of animals. I am your host, Jennifer Eileen, and I am so delighted to introduce our topic today, From Rescue to Forever, A Dog's Journey Home. I would like you to meet Allison Marahoff, Executive Director of FOHA, Friends of Homeless Animals, and our very important special pet guest, May. So, Allison, thank you so much for coming here on a busy Friday afternoon with this beautiful dog in a tutu.
I know, she dressed up for the occasion.
She did.
Wanted
she didn't
to
tell me it was
debut
formal.
I know, she puts us all to shame, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yes, so this is May. She's a 8-year-old pit bull. She came to us a couple months ago from one of our partner shelters in Southern Virginia, where she had been for a little while, waiting for a perfect family, and just didn't find the right place, and she was at risk, unfortunately, of euthanasia there, so just because of her length of stay and her age. So we brought her up to us, and she's been in foster care. She's wonderful with kids and people, and not a huge fan of other animals, so needs to be an only animal in the home. But and we did find out in foster care that she is a little afraid, well, maybe a little more than a little afraid of storms when they come through. So she's got some storm anxiety. And at the shelter, when we have her there, we're treating her with a little bit of medication, which seems to help with that. But other than that, you know, she's just been lovely. She's great at events, and as you can see, she's a bit of a couch potato, and doesn't need a whole lot of, she's not going to go on 10-mile runs with you, but you know, just wants to be close to her people, and so she's just a lovely girl, just looking for that special family.
Well, she's so sweet, and she's doing very well in the studio, just greeting everybody. I got so many wet nose kisses, and you know, just like, you know, she's just chilled, and she doesn't even care that she's wearing a tutu. And
no, she likes to show it off, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that is a really good story about what FOHA is, who FOHA is, and could you tell us more? You have a 40-acre campus. You've been doing this as a no-kill shelter for a long time.
Yes, so Friends of Homeless Animals, affectionately known as FOHA, has been around now for 52 years. We are a no-kill shelter. We're located in Loudoun County, in Aldie, and right off of Good Puppy Lane.
Of course.
Easy to remember. And as a no-kill shelter, we bring in animals, and as long as it takes for them to be adopted, we keep them and take care of them, and have volunteers that come out and staff that love on them. And you know, if it takes a long time, we've got village homes for them, which they have their own little home with a front yard and backyard, and so they're not always kept for, you know, our longer term dogs. They're not kept in kennels for the rest of their lives, and we try to move them there as soon as possible. And you know, if we can find an adopter that you know, wants to work with us with a dog that may have, you know, a storm fear like this, we've got behaviorists on staff and have training plans for the dogs, and we'll work with potential adopters and even fosters. You know, moving them into a foster home is also very, very beneficial. And so, you know, we're just a great organization that you know, doesn't shy away from the harder to adopt dogs. We actively bring in dogs that are seniors. She's going to be 8 years old and eligible for our senior care plan, which is waived adoption fee and $1,500 towards medical expenses. Which is in part supported by a gray muzzle grant, which is amazing. And we also bring in heartworm positive dogs, and not to shy away, we do have cats also. And we bring in FIV positive cats and senior cats, but we also bring in those easy to adopt and you know, great with kids, cats, other dogs. We bring in all kinds, all shapes, sizes, ages. We're always trying to, you know, match people with an animal that's going to work for their lifestyle.
And the animal with the person who's going to work for them.
Of course, of course.
Well, lovely. And now, how long has May been with you? Did you say?
She's been with us a couple months now. Yeah, she was in foster care and has. We've got some great video of hers at a young kids party, jumping around, bouncing at bubbles, and so she's really good with people and kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, I love that pit bulls were the nanny dogs.
Yes.
They were the nanny dogs of England, and so they were often left with the children to babysit them.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see her doing that.
Yeah.
They definitely sometimes don't have the best reputation, but most of the pit bulls are couch potatoes and just really super loving and just want to be right there beside you and know where you are at all times. I have one at home myself.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, if you could say a little bit more, I'm curious about the storm anxiety. I'm sure people, especially with fireworks in this area and storms, can you say a little something more about that? What do you do for therapy for a dog like that?
Yeah, a lot of that is really, just trying to work on conditioning them, and associating the things that scare them just with anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a storm, with positive things. Sometimes they do need medication to help. So when we know a big storm is coming through, about 30 minutes to an hour before, we give her a little bit of medication to kind of hopefully take the edge off, and then just trying to be there with her and, show her that it's going to be okay, and help work her through that. So, in a home, we would want her to be in if you're leaving and it's, potential of storms, in a safe place for her, maybe in a crate. Or if you're able to take her with you, She does much better when she's with people. You just see that she's kind of pacing and anxious more so than anything else.
Well, my other question is, does she pirouette?
We're working on that.
You're working on
yes,
that. Okay.
Yes, that'll be the next trick.
Oh, that's so great. That's great. Well, I think that's just a beautiful example. I mean, she's really just such a beautiful, serene dog. And I found some over-the-counter things for my cats. So, but in this area, when fireworks come along, and we've had so many thunderstorms lately, so it's good to know.
Yes.
Very good to know.
Yep.
And also, FOHA has wonderful volunteers who walk the dogs. So tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of our volunteers start off as dog walkers.
Yeah.
And we have at any time about 65 dogs on property. And on our 40 acres, we do have a lot of wooded area, which has nice trails that are on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So volunteers can come out once they're trained. Just have to go through a 2-part training series.
Right.
To be certified to come and walk the dogs, and then they can come noon to 5 any day of the week and walk the dogs. No schedule needed, just come whenever.
That's great.
And we've got play yards that they can go in. We even have off-site events. We have a program called Snout and About. You can come take the dog, put a tutu on her, and take her to a local brewery or a vineyard and just show her off and try to introduce her to somebody that may be there and not realize that this is their dog.
Right.
Yeah. And so, volunteering is very special, and we try to get all of our dogs out for walks daily, and it's just a great part of their enrichment that makes a big difference for them. And then we get them out for the dogs that we know are good playing together. They go into doggy socials, and they run around and play together. They burn off more calories and burn off more energy with that than a 30-minute walk with us. But both are enrichment for them.
Yes, and how could the volunteers not get hooked and adopt every dog they walk?
I know,
right?
Yes. You know your limit after a while. I know a lot of people say that, like, oh, I'd be afraid to come out to the shelter. I would fall in love and want to bring everybody home. It's like,
just bring one home.
It's about promoting the dogs that you fall in love with and trying to see them into new homes. That's the most, at the end of the day, the most rewarding thing.
It really is. Well, just to kind of put in context, what is a no-kill shelter? And can you tell us that philosophy and how it got started?
Yes. So No Kill came about through the Best Friends Animal Society, and truly a no kill means that of the animals that come into your shelter, 90% of them leave, or better, 90% or better,
90%,
leave
yeah.
either into a home or transferred to another organization that they are a live outcome for them. And we have a policy at Friends of Homeless Animals that we only euthanize for medical reasons and for the benefit of the animal if there's something that's going on that is impacting their quality of life. We are in a position at the shelter where we are that we do not have to euthanize for space, where other shelters don't have that option due to they needing to bring in more and more animals and being an open admission. We can choose how many animals come into us. If we haven't had many adoptions, then we don't bring in as many animals. So that's one thing, as a private nonprofit shelter that we have the benefit of. But that's where we fit in, is that we need these animals to move through our shelter very quickly so that we can support those other shelters where they may be at this time running out of space and needing support, and that's where we transfer our animals from, both cats and dogs. So we are in that whole industry, helping to reduce euthanasia wherever possible. And like I said, we have special housing for our longer animals that may have behavior issues that may make them a little harder to adopt. We help to train our volunteers. They can go through different levels of training to learn how to help with dogs that may be really strong on leash or maybe a little reactive on leash, and how to work through those behaviors so that when an adopter comes, they already have a training plan in place. We may have already kind of minimized some of those behaviors, and then that adopter is able to take that on, and so we're really in a position where we're trying as much as possible, both behaviorally, medically, to do everything possible for these animals to get them ready for adoption.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, how would somebody sign up, or how would they get involved to be a dog walker with you?
Yes, so everything can be found on our website at FOHA.org. So anybody can come visit us there at any time, and there are ways to sign up for volunteering. There's all kinds of opportunities. Can't come to the shelter, there's other things that can be done, remote work, data entry, following up with potential adopters, talking with, working with our foster program and coordinating fostering. So there's a lot that can be done. If you don't necessarily have to come to the shelter. You can help us with social media and promotions and those type of things. So all kinds of opportunities for anybody that wants to help out. And you can't adopt May right now. You can help promote her, and just help to show just how amazing our animals are.
They all are. I was at a event called Green Fair a few years ago, and there were FOHA dog walkers there, and one stopped and talked to me, and described the dog, and it seemed like really a win-win.
Yes.
About that. So could you say more about how someone would apply for adoption, what you look for and screen for in adoption, adopters and fosters?
Right, yeah. So again, the website is always the best place to start, and easy to apply right on our website. Lots of animals out there on the website to review, lots of notes on them. Anything we know, we've put on the website. What they like, what they don't like, what their personalities are, and can go from there into apply. You can apply to foster, and you can apply to adopt. What we like to do is have people come out to the shelter, spend time with the animals, because we do have those amazing trails and play yards. People can come and spend all day if they like and meet all kinds of different dogs, and spend as much or as little time with them as they like. If they decide that for example, May is their dog and they want to adopt her and move forward with her, what we would do is take their information and set them up for an adoption consultation, which we do virtually.
Okay.
Just answering questions they may have, how to prepare, what to materials to have, supplies, just talking through all kinds of things, their history a little bit more. It's really setting everybody up for success.
Yeah.
And then we will do a vet check. We want to make sure that any animals that are in the home or were recently in the home were kept up to date on vaccines, preventatives. All of our animals are up to date on all of their vaccines. May here has her microchip, rabies, distemper, bordetella. She's on heartworm, flea and tick preventatives. If she needs anything else, she's pushing 8 years old.
She needs a tiara.
Yeah, she does need a tiara. She can go home with a tutu. If she needs a dental because she is 8 years old, we would, do a dental with extractions if needed. If she was not spayed before she came in, we would spay her. So every animal is spayed and neutered. And they go home with starter food, which is the food that we feed them.
Okay. That's
one
helpful.
of these slip leads, we always send them home with that. And
Wow.
just all of our wealth of knowledge and support and lifetime support comes with the adoption as well. So if anything ever happens, any questions come up, we're here to support. And we also have 30 days of free membership to Pet Academy, which helps with any behavior or just general questions of, my dog isn't eating right now, what's going on? Well, you just brought the dog home. Maybe you just need to, let them settle for another couple hours. They'll eat. So, just any kind of questions that come up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we had along the way talked about some of your special dogs, your special residents, and you told me about Judd.
Yes.
And I'd like you to tell us about Judd. It's a special story.
Yes. So Judd was a hound who came to us last year down in kind of the Norfolk area. He was found as a stray, and he also was a few days away from possible euthanasia.
Wow.
And we saw his story and immediately just fell in love with his soulful eyes and decided, we needed to bring him into our care. When he first came to us, we had to carry him into a kennel in a crate, and he would not leave that crate. He didn't want to come out of it. He was so shut down and so scared. So we spent some time with him trying to get him comfortable and realized very quickly that a foster home is what was going to be needed. He went through 3 different foster homes, which is not a bad thing, just learning new things every time, becoming more comfortable, learning to trust. And he actually did end up at my house for a period of time with my 2 dogs. And when he was with other dogs, he lit up. I mean, he just would follow them everywhere, wanted to be where they were, and through them, he learned to trust. And so when I was fostering him, a family came and said that, they were really interested. So the way to get him to like them was for me to bring my dogs to introduce them, as well as a can of spray cheese, and that seemed to work.
Oh, spray cheese,
yes,
okay.
spray cheese, you do what you gotta do. And they saw his potential, and they fell in love with him, and they decided to take him home. And sweet Judd is now living in a horse farm in Middleburg and has quite the life. He's got a canine buddy, brother that he loves very much, and a couple feline siblings now that he loves, and a couple that just adore him. His name is now Buddy. And so it's just a great example of, doing everything possible to change a dog's life and just to take them from a situation that, is just so scary for them, and a life that, we just don't know. We don't know what happened with him. Was it just that he wasn't socialized, or, heaven forbid something did actually happen. So, just taking that time and patience, and, that's what we do, and that's what makes Friends of Homeless Animals really, really, really special. And, that we're there until until we can find that family.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you sent me a few photos, and the photo is he's sitting in this easy chair, like he's like the master of the house watching TV, looking over his shoulder.
Smoking jacket.
I loved it. I loved it. Thank you. That's wonderful. Well, there is an event coming up in October with two of my favorite things, Paws and Prosecco.
Yes.
Could you tell us more about, at a winery
in
Leesburg? Yeah, could you tell us more about that?
Right.
It sounds like fun.
Paws and Prosecco is our annual fundraiser. It's coming up October 3rd, and it starts at 7 o'clock on that evening, and it will be at Fleetwood Farms Vineyard in Leesburg.
Okay.
And they're a great partner of ours. They are dog friendly, and we're going to be able to bring some of our dogs to the event. And it's just a great opportunity for people to come and to meet some of our dogs. And we're going to have some auction and some great food and wine and Prosecco, and just a really, really fun night for people to come and celebrate animals and support the animals that are waiting for their homes.
Well, I've been to your past fundraisers, not there, but they are really beautiful, and you meet the different dogs, and you have a lot of meet and greet with other people who love the dogs, and so many of the other people who support FOHA and have been with you for a very long time.
Yes.
And I met a number of volunteers at the last one, and they had amazing stories.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great community that we have, and huge support. Over 50 years, we've really established ourselves, and found some wonderful volunteers and supporters, and staff. I can't forget the staff. The staff is amazing.
Yeah, tell me about the staff.
Yes, we have a total of 23 staff that work at the shelter, as well as our thrift store that's called the Treasure Hound in Chantilly. Yes, go shop. Well, shopping is always lovely at the Treasure Hound.
Lovely.
So we've got staff. We are staffed from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. every day of the week, every day of the year.
Yeah.
We do have some holidays, but somebody's there all the time, they work so hard, and their passion and love for the animals is visible every single day.
Well, it absolutely is, and a little bit of my history. I lived in Middleburg for a period of time, and the Treasure Hound was there, and every day at 4 o'clock, all the cats would come to the porch for food. But now that they're in Chantilly, they have, it's a great location, and truth be told, again, true confessions, when I did a Christmas episode here, many of the Christmas decorations came from FOHA.
Very good.
So I could.
Yes. We're proud of the store. It's a lovely place.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Really does help with the funding and supporting the animals.
Yeah, it does. It's a handy place, and it's just convenient to drop donations off and know that they're going to a good cause. That's right. Well, other than Judd, can you, and now we recently met Sophie, and that was a beautiful story with Sophie and Miro. Can you tell us about any other lovely stories? And you're welcome to talk about cats. And, I don't know if she minds. But
well, we had a lovely episode here. I think it was about a year or so ago with Scooter.
Scooter, my hero.
The cat. And he was with us for quite a while. And finally, a young couple came and instantly fell in love with him. And, we had some history of a little bit of poor litter box maintenance with him, and they looked past that. Took him home. He's never had an issue with them, and he is living the life. And he was a cat that we had adopted out quite a while before that, and found him about 2 hours away from where he had been adopted on somebody's porch. So we don't know if he got out and just got loose, or heaven forbid, something worse. But that lovely couple that found him called us and got him back to us. Like I said, he was with us for a little while, but now he is just king of the house. And I should send you a photo
Please
of like
do.
him in his home and just being loved on, and they adore him.
Yeah, he was ready to move in here. He sat at the
Yes.
coffee table, then he crawled into this thing, and he was just going to take over and,
Yes.
keep Sam
He was
company
taking
for the rest
world.
of his life. That is a beautiful story, but it was also a story that succeeded because of a microchip. So let's
Yes.
talk a little bit about microchips. That's, I think, an important tip for pet owners.
Yes, absolutely. Always microchip your pet. Every animal, cats and dogs. It's really, and then keep them up to date. Keep the microchips registered. Sometimes people get the microchip inserted and they don't register it, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh.
But definitely, it's fairly inexpensive. A lot of our county shelters have free microchipping clinics that you can go to.
Yeah.
You can get it done at your vet. All of our animals are microchipped
Yeah.
before they go out. It's just a little needle and insertion of a little chip in their shoulder blade, and then you've got scanners, and if your pet is found, it is the easiest way to get your pet back to you. Because even if you have a collar on them, if they get loose, a collar can get stuck on something, get pulled off, and it may not it may not stay with them.
Right.
Or they could slip out your door when they don't have their collar on. So a collar and a tag is not always 100%, but that microchip really is 100%. So it is critical, and it's so easy to do that it blows our mind sometimes when it's not done yet.
Well, thank you for that tip, and we are coming to the end of our wonderful time together. It always goes so fast, but
I
thank
know.
you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
here. I'm looking forward to Prosecco and Paws.
Pause and Prosecco.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
The pause first, always.
Oh, all right. Okay. If you say so.
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed this very special episode of Pet Info Cafe. For more information on this and other episodes, please visit petinfocafe.com. If you enjoy Pet Info Cafe and other programs on Fairfax Cable Public Access, Channel 10, and other channels, you may be aware that all programming is non-commercial. Many programs are produced and staffed by citizens just like me. We do not receive compensation, and we do not accept commercial advertising. I'm speaking to you in the summer of 2025 when PBS and other public broadcasting is losing funding in massive amounts. Fairfax Cable Public Access is not funded by the federal government, and like all public broadcasting, our revenue is declining. If you enjoy locally relevant programs like Pet Info Cafe, please consider a tax-deductible donation to Fairfax Cable Public Access here at the link shown. Call 571-749-1104 for more information. Visit our Just Giving page and other links that are shown below. Thank you for watching and supporting Fairfax Public Access, the voice of the community.